time for 3 harsh realities that you need to know so you can start living your life accordingly based on what these harsh realities are. There's plenty more. I have plenty more inside of me, but we're only going to stick with 3 today. Number 1 is that you have an expiration date. You do not always know when that expiration date's going to be. It could be at any moment. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't know. But at the end of the day, regardless of who you are, what you've done, how much you try to avoid it, yeah, you can prolong and do all the things that you know that is good for you. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're going to expire. And that's the big one, right? When you have thanatophobia, which is the fear of death, it prevents you from living life in many ways, right? Because everything is a problem. Everything is an issue. Everything becomes like, oh my God. And it's debilitating. It can create an enormous amount of anxiety. That's why anxiety around death, thanatophobia, is something that is extremely weird. That too, it is kind of weird, right, for us to have it, but it is true that, we can have it. And so that's why a lot of times anxiety medicine's there, but it's what we call, ego integrity. It's a whole, and I'll do a whole thing on ego integrity. I feel like we need like a whole podcast or something on it. So ego integrity is the acceptance of it, of what that looks like. And so I think that this is an important one for you to like really wrap your head around, because regardless of how much you want to avoid it, pretend it's not going to happen. Yeah, I guarantee you without a doubt, I promise you, I could bet every money on every child I have that it will happen for you. So number 1 is getting clear on that. Now, you don't have to sit there and obsessively think about it. I don't want you to think about it, but you need to know it, because these next 2 play into this. And it's a lot of times you think that you have more time, right? You're like, well, I'm waiting to feel ready. Well, keep waiting, baby, because sometimes that time ain't going to come. That time may never come. You might not even have the time left in you, or the time may never come. So number 2 with that is you have to remember that at the end of the day, no one is going to live your goals for you. Nobody cares really, honestly, if you meet them, because they're your goals. They're personal to you. And the more you're waiting to feel ready, and the more that you're waiting for it to be something, and you're waiting to feel like, oh, okay, and is this person going to care about it? Okay, you are wasting precious time, because one thing that you will never get back is time. Again, it's a fact. You will never get that time back. Ever. I don't care how you spend it. So it's maximizing the time that you have now. It's maximizing it. And accepting that you're not getting that time back. You got to stop letting what your brain is telling you, oh, well, if I do this and this will happen, but what if these things happen? What if this doesn't happen? You're talking yourself into a corner, right? You're talking yourself into a corner because you're trying to avoid things. Because you doesn't feel ready. It doesn't matter that you're ready. Do it anyway. Do it scared. Fail often. You need to fail often. You got to do these things, because I can guarantee you're not going to get that opportunity back far as the past time. You might have another opportunity come, but are you going to take it? Or are you going to sit there and you're going to keep worrying about how you feel? You feel afraid. So what? Do it anyway. Because I just said to you, going back to number 1, which is the foundation of what you need to know, is that you're not going to be here forever. And you keep thinking that you have guaranteed time. Baby, you don't have a guarantee of anything. So you do it, and you do it anyway. You do it scared. You do it insecure. You do it with the unknown. This is where you got to be. Number 3 is, who cares what other people think of you? When you expire, no one on your headstone, if you choose to have a headstone, most people I know and my family and stuff is all cremation, but like, let's say that you're going to have something. It's not going to say, cared about what people thought, was a great people pleaser, tried to make sure everybody was happy. Really? Because at the end of the day, you're just a walking shell. When you are people pleasing, you are a walking shell of a person. It's a fact. I know where it comes from. Trauma. That's why we have to heal the trauma. Remember, it's never about going, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Well, nothing's wrong with you. You were just exposed to something that you didn't have coping strategies for. So this is your coping strategy. And this is the important factor for you. So see, these are the 3 harsh truths that you need to start focusing and recentering your life on today. What are you waiting for? What kind of things are you waiting for? What kind of time do you think you have? Based on what? What fact do you have? You don't. So no matter how much you think that you are trying to control the unknown, baby, you are not even close to it. When you see that and you stop oversharing things with people, stop giving people all of your dreams and goals and things that you're doing until you're ready to do it. Stop doing that. You're putting, should I do this, into everybody else's hands. You're giving them the power, this little power strip, okay? You're doing that. You're giving them that power over you, over the time you have. So when you're people pleasing, you're saying, hey, you know what? I know we're all here on borrowed time and all, but I think you're so amazing that I want you to take this control of my life, of the time that I have, and tell me what I'm supposed to do with it. Think about that. Think about that. You're saying I have to please you, and you, because first of all, it's never going to happen. So stop doing it. You. And I want you to be the dictator and the controller of the time I have on this planet. Think about that. Based on what? Because you're still dealing with your self-esteem? That's okay. That's okay. Your low self-esteem, it's okay. We need to work on that. You can work on that. But a good way to work on that, to be honest with you, is to realize that your time isn't based on what mom wants. Your time isn't based on what the husband and the sister and the best friend wants. Your time isn't based on what your boss wants. It's not what it's based on. It's an individual thing written in the powers that be. And the powers that be didn't check with your mom and your dad and the best friend on when that time should be. Never once. It's decided for you already. Sure, you can manipulate it a little bit by like trying to live healthier and do those things. Absolutely. Do that because it's good. You want to prolong the quality. You want to do that. Absolutely. Is it going to stop it from happening? No. So don't go, well, then why would I do it? Because you want to prolong the time that you have. You want to have a good quality of life. But a good quality of life isn't just about your physical health. A good quality of life is also about you living your best life, living your life for you, making your own mistakes, falling frequently, doing it because you made the choice to do it. And another part of that is the world will go on without you. Yes. The world will people are going to get up and go to work the next day. People are going to continue in relationships. Life will go on without you. You need to be clear in that. When you go, life will continue. The world will spin. The people will laugh. Not at you. I'm just saying people will laugh. People will cry. People will enjoy themselves. People will be on vacation. People will not feel great. The world will continue. So stop thinking that by people pleasing and all of that stuff, it's making this giant difference. All it's doing is it's creating expectations for people and it's putting a giant hole inside of you. So let me ask you this question, because now it's gone. Now I'm going to put it back on you. What are you going to do now? Knowing that you're wasting time. You're wasting time. Just straight up and down, you're wasting time. Yeah, you need a break, by the way. You're allowed to sit and watch Netflix, play video games, do those things that you think are mundane. You got to have that. You got to enjoy your time here. But what are you going to do now? Why are you staying in relationships that aren't serving your best and highest good? Why are you allowing people to control and dictate your life because you feel like you need them in your life? Based on what? You're going to give the time that you have on this planet to anybody else? I don't care who it is. So now I want you to ask yourself, what does this actually mean for me? That's the other part of the reality. What does it mean to you? What does it mean? That means you better really get clear with who you are. Don't worry about what they think of you. It doesn't matter. Get clear on who you are. What are your goals? What do you need to do to make them? What kind of better changes in your life do you want to make because you want to make them? Even if they're not better, what are things that you want to do? Do them. Try something new. Oh, you want to be a pilot? Go be a pilot. You want to try something new? Go do it. People don't like it? Doesn't matter. Oh, they think this way? Doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, you came in this world by yourself. You will go out of it by yourself. Yeah, people are there. I mean, obviously you were born out of somebody, but you're still by yourself. So make sure that that's the person that you're giving that love and care to. Make sure that's the person that you're pleasing. Okay? Because if you didn't put yourself as a priority before, after this video, you were going to want to start. It does matter. You don't intentionally go around hurting people's feelings, but you don't put their feelings ahead of your feelings either. Their comfort is nowhere near as important as your peace. So, what are you going to do with the time you have left? And how are you going to execute it?